Sonaba Pandemonium, sonaba Ritual, llega el momento de Es Esto o La Fábrica, esta sección que siempre es el punto de partida de este gran programa en donde analizamos, repensamos, redescubrimos todo lo que tiene que ver con la industria de la música, los circuitos grandes, chicos, medianos, de esto que tanto nos gusta, que es el arte. Oh my God, fucking arte. Como siempre decimos en esta sección, hace un montón de años para poder escuchar una obra, para poder ver una pintura de algún artista, una película, lo que sea. En el medio había que haber un montón de distribuidoras llevando de acá para allá los discos, las obras, de un lado y del otro del Atlántico, del Pacífico, del Índico, donde sea. Esto ha cambiado un montón en los últimos años, pero no así otras cosas como los contratos, como otras cositas. Así que bueno, de estas cosas y más vamos a estar hablando en el día de hoy con los amigos de Ritual, la banda de Reino Unido que acabamos de escuchar Pandemonium. ¿Viste que sonó, Raúl? La puta madre, como una banda que tenemos hoy. Así que en un minutito vamos nada más, vamos a estar hablando con Franco, cantante de la banda Ritual del Reino Unido. Así que si todo está bien, le vamos a dar ok ahí al amigo Franco para que entre. Hello Franco, how are you?
Hey Raúl, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Bien. Yeah, I'm fine, I'm really fine. Bueno, vamos a dejarlo acá con el amigo Raúl, que va a arrancar como siempre el cuestionario. Bueno, Raúl, arrancá vos. Ya dijimos, autobombo, 3 por programa, ya hicimos 1, OJ.
Así que vamos tranquilo ahora. No, Franco, first of all, thank you for your time and your support. We are really glad to have you in the program.
Thank you for inviting us, my man. No, it's good to be chatting to you boys. How's everything going? How's life?
No, it's pretty good for now. Manu is in Argentina. I'm in Barcelona living now, and there are people from Mexico, from Brazil, from all Latin America hearing you.
All right, okay, safe guys.
Okay.
In fact, I think we are going to be joined by a couple more of the boys in Ritual, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll see how it goes. I sent the link out to them. Hopefully they join us, but you know.
Okay, no problem with that. They can come in whenever they want, so it's okay. It's okay, no problem.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
Franco, we have some questions that we made to all the artists that came to the radio. So can we start with the questionnaire? It's okay?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll answer what I can.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys are going to ask me questions. I'm going to be, I don't know, the other boys would be better to answer, but, you know, fire them my way.
Okay.
Go for it.
It's okay. I'm going to translate a little your answer. So, Franco, please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
My name's Franco Necro. That's the name I go by on with Ritual anyway. I'm from a town called Welling, which is in Hertfordshire in the UK, and I'm the grand old age of 37 years.
37.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bueno, nos comenta que su nombre es Franco Necro, así como lo llaman en la banda en Ritual. Es de Welling, que es una ciudad del Reino Unido y que tiene 37 años. And Franco, can you tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
My first memory? Oh, man, okay. The first clear one is Michael Jackson's Bad, when that came out. And I must have been about a year and a half or 2. And I remember when that came out, and that was like the first time like music clearly hit me, and I have a very clear memory of music. So, yeah.
Wow. I think that James is showing us, no?
There he is.
Okay.
Look at that face.
Hello, James. James,
hey guys.
Can you tell us your first memory of you listening to music?
Yeah, I think probably along the same sort of lines as Franco, really. Specifically, like an artist.
No. Whatever you think that is your first memory.
I think actually my uncle was a big fan of like a lot of rock metal, like the classic rock and metal, everything from like Floyd to Sabbath. Okay. So I think in terms of like at the point I realized, I was like, this is something that I've never heard of. It was definitely along those sort of lines. Yeah, I mean, in the 90s, when I was a lot younger, listening to like even some of the chart music. There was a lot more sort of variation in like what was accessible at that point. So you had a lot better quality music available to a wider audience. Like I loved artists like Björk as well when I was in my sort of early teens. Yeah, so that sort of thing.
Okay. Bueno, Franco nos comentó que su primer recuerdo escuchando música fue Michael Jackson. Excelente respuesta. Muy bueno. Excelente. Y bueno, James, que se unió recién, también es parte de Ritual, nos comentaba que el tío le mostraba un montón de rock así más clásico de los 70, tipo Pink Floyd, classic rock, y que en los 90 era un poquito más difícil el acceso a la música, pero él considera que, que era de mejor calidad. Así que bueno, eso después lo vamos a seguir. We are going to fight about the 90s music and the actual music. So no, we really like actual music, and we like Ritual. Ritual is I think that really actual music, and we are going to fight, but maybe after in some questions. And can you tell us which was your first instrument?
You know what? I had piano lessons when I was little. I never paid any attention, and I can't play a note to save my life. Like, I sing, I make noises, you know, and that's always been the case with me. So musical instruments for me, nah.
Okay. And you, James?
Yeah, it's a keyboard or piano. Definitely, that was definitely the first thing I started playing. My mum always had a piano, and as a kid, I was, oh, what's this? You know.
Okay.
So made a lot of noise on that, but yeah, that was definitely the first. Exactly. Yeah, it's like, this is easy. You know?
Nice. You have a piano in your home, at home.
Yeah. My mum does still. I've got a keyboard here. This is a flat. You can see I'm in the kitchen. You know,
Okay.
But yeah, still got a keyboard. Just like come up with some ideas sometimes. You know, but yeah, mostly when we're doing anything as a band, it's all we do it in the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Bueno, James y Franco nos comentan que su primer instrumento fue el piano. Franco lo dejó al costado totalmente, dice que los instrumentos no son para él, que él prefiere ser vocal siempre. Y James nos cuenta que, bueno, que en la casa tenía un piano, así que tocaba cuando era chico, así como un chico, y después, bueno, fue desarrollando un poco más su manera de tocar, y ahora está en un departamento en su casa y que tiene un piano en la cocina, así que disfrutan de la música, me parece mucho los dos. And can you tell us if there are any places to study music for free in your region?
Yeah, there's for free. I mean, like when you're in the schools here, when you get to your secondary school, so from about the age of 11 until 16, you've got music can be a part of your everyday studies. So yeah, that education is provided. You can, of course, then take extra studies and lessons for free. Unfortunately, nothing seems to be for free anymore, but definitely you can get that as part of your education. And that's actually what I did as well. In my studies at school, I did music. For better or worse.
Okay. Bueno, James nos cuenta acá, le pregunté si había lugares gratuitos para estudiar música en su región, y me dice que sigue en todas las escuelas secundarias, a partir de entre los 11 y los 16 uno puede elegir la música como actividades extraprogramáticas o actividades dentro del colegio, y que son completamente gratis, así que bien ahí. And can you tell us how did Ritual band begin?
We started off in 2017. We've all played in bands, you know, for the best part of 20 years, and we knew each other kind of through the scene, for want of a better phrase. But we never played together. And you know, I hadn't played in a band in a while. Neither had Michael James, to my recollection, and it was just like a means originally to get together and make noise and to get rid of like all the stuff that, you know, you accumulate during the week. So you know, that's how it started off, and kind of things have kind of snowballed from there. You know, for us, you know, it was never meant to be a recording project originally, but it's kind of turned into that now. So yeah, so that's how we started.
Ok. Bueno, le pregunté cómo empezaban y dice que empezó todo como una cosa entre amigos porque se conocían de la escena, de tocar, todos venían de tocar en otras bandas, y bueno, se estaban conociendo y se juntaron como un proyecto así para zapar y para sacarse un poco de la mala leche que tenían en la semana. O sea, estaban con la cabeza así durante la semana y después, bueno, se juntaban a tocar para relajar un poco, y no había empezado como un proyecto así serio con el cual grabar ni nada, pero se hizo una bola de nieve, como estaba diciendo, y bueno, terminaron con esto que es el proyecto de Ritual, que es tremendo como suena, y la verdad que la calidad del proyecto es excelente. Excellent quality, the Ritual Band. The release is really, really excellent. We kind of love it. In 2019, you released a collection of 3 tracks that Ritual have written, no? What did those lyrics talk about?
Right, so we did an EP in 2019 called Operation Copacabana and the Punch Drunk Blues, and basically, like, what the song is, the EP is about, is like an extension of a Barry Manilow song, the Copacabana. So, like, we all love that song. It's, you know, it's a happy kind of, it's got a lot of, you know, bounce and swagger to it, but the lyrically it's very dark. It's about a fight in a nightclub that it's a murder story basically. So we love that idea, and we took the Copacabana, the song, we did a kind of reimagining of it, and then we kind of built on it. So it basically tells the story of the Barry Manilow song. Is the best way to describe it, but we've given it a kind of a different peak. Where, you know, it's got you know, rockier, it's got proggy elements to it. I think it sounds pretty damn sexy myself, you know. So, you know, that's what that song is about.
Okay. Le pregunté porque... No, sí, porque yo me di cuenta, medio que lo percibí, que tienen una contradicción, juegan mucho con las letras, tiran cosas súper oscuras, pero siempre están como riéndose de las cosas, y eso está buenísimo. La ironía que tienen los ingleses, la verdad que es bastante parecida a la gente de Buenos Aires. Y le pregunté por un EP que sacaron en el 2019, Copacabana, bueno, y dice que agarraron la canción Copacabana, pero le pusieron letras súper oscuras, así que le dieron como un twist, y dice que Franco dice que su voz suena bastante sexy en el tema. Así que bueno, suelen mezclar esas cosas y me parece que se divierten haciendo música, se están cagando de risa acá, así que muy bien. And you released Enigma in May of 2022. How did you manage to get all the appearances? You know, you get jazz musicians, people from the opera. How do you manage to get that?
Okay, I think, I mean, it's probably, we could sit here for ages and talk about that, because believe me, that process was long. We started it before the pandemic, and we finished recording all our parts to it on the last day before we had the first national lockdown here in the UK. So we finished in the studio, and, you know, we got our mixes back. And we realized, you know, 1.5 months later, we had no idea when we would be able to release it. So we thought, okay, let's play with it. Let's, you know, we've all talked amongst ourselves about what we would like to do with it in an ideal world, but the pandemic kind of gave us time to do things with it. So, like, we effectively, like, emailed everybody that we wanted to be on it, approached them, and we thought to ourselves, well, you know, you don't ask, you don't get. So we might as well ask. The worst they can say is no. And we lucked out. Like, everybody just sent the things we asked for them back to us. And then we had a logistical kind of nightmare of trying to kind of put it all together. but that's my kind of take on it. I don't know if James has got any additional thoughts on that.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. I think it was like we revisited the album with the extra time that we had because of the lockdown, and the result is obviously what you have now. Obviously, because we wanted to get a bit sooner, we ended up thinking, well, look, let's not rush it. Let's just take our time with it, and when it's ready, and that's what you end up with there.
Nice. No, really nice work. Bueno, le pregunté porque sacaron un disco en el 2022, ahora hace poquito en mayo, con un montón de invitados y unas cosas recontralocas limadas de mezclas de estilos y de todo, que fue, por ejemplo, una de las canciones que escuchamos recién. Le pregunté cómo manejaron el proceso de juntar a toda esta gente, cantantes de ópera, cantantes de jazz, y me contaron que, bueno, la idea de sacar el disco era para antes de la pandemia, y justo terminaron con todo el proceso del estudio, le entregaron el máster en el último día antes del lockdown que tuvieron ahí en Reino Unido, y tenían el disco en la mano y decían, ¿qué mierda vamos a hacer con esto? Y en vez de apurarse, de rush down, o sea, de acelerarse para sacarlo y ver qué podían hacer, dijeron, bueno, vamos a tomarnos nuestro tiempo para rehacerlo y para, digamos, superproducirlo. Sí, la verdad que lo superproducieron y quedó, it's excellent.
Muy profesional, muy profesional.
Sí, muy bueno el resultado también. And can you tell us in which circuit you think that Ritual Bands is going to be? In what scene, you know? In what circuit are you going to play? Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I take this one, Franco? That's something that I think we, as a band, don't even necessarily always have a definite answer for, but I'd say to say that we are a hard rock band with metal influences, with prog influences, with hip hop influences, with we definitely have a wide range of musical tastes. But I think the bedrock of what we do it's like hard rock with moments of different styles coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Ok. Le pregunté más o menos en qué escena se querían meter a empezar a tocar, bueno, y a moverse, y me dijo que no tienen una respuesta definitiva a eso, o sea, que no hay nada exacto, porque ellos tienen una influencia muy fuerte del hard rock, o sea, del rock pesado, pero mezclan de todo, mezclan hip hop, mezclan partes de rap, mezclan todo, así que no tienen todavía como una respuesta exacta en qué escena meterse. Definitiva, ahí está, no tiene una escena.
Pero te das cuenta cuando escuchás la banda realmente, porque pasean por todos lados.
Exactamente.
Realmente, en un tema pasean por muchos lados.
Sí. You have like in one song a lot of mixes, no? With the rap, with heavy metal, with everything. We like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's like again, I think that comes down to we've all got very different kind of musical tastes. Mm-hmm. Like Marinos says, or James says, it all kind of comes back to like a core group of bands that we all have like a mutual respect for. But you know, we all listen to different things on top of that, and you know, have those additional influences as well, which, you know, it's like a challenge in lots of ways. You know, Mike, our guitarist, will come up with like a really heavy riff, and I will think to myself, okay, I want to do, I don't know, I want to throw like a hip hop line over this, or I want an opera singer on this section. I mean, naturally, I can't like an opera singer, so. You know, it's we have ideas that maybe we're not able to kind of deliver on ourselves. So it's been really cool, you know, working with people at the top, you know, the top of their game in, you know, their given area. Mm-hmm. It's been really cool, kind of suggesting ideas, and for them to kind of make it happen. Has been very kind of educational for us.
Wow. Bueno, nos terminaba de redondear el concepto de que mezclan todo y dice que, bueno, él canta cualquier cosa menos, por ejemplo, ópera, y por eso llamaron a gente de la ópera, o que hay veces que el guitarrista viene con unos riffs súper pesados y él trata de cantar cosas de rap, por ejemplo, arriba, y que también le sirvió un montón mezclarse con toda esta gente que la que participó en el disco, porque aprendieron un montón. And can you tell us how did the way from your region to begin, like you play first in pubs, then you play in something like bigger venues, which is the way for an underground band in your region? Mm-hmm.
That's hard because we play a mix of venues, different sizes and crowds, but the way things typically work is there's a circuit of venues that each have a promoter, a different one for each type of night, and you just got to try and get in touch with the right people for your style of music. Actually, going back to what you were saying about what style of music would you say, like, where we are, our genre, that's one thing we found could be quite difficult for us, is because we weren't quite metal, but we weren't rock. We weren't, we were two different things going on, and we sometimes found it was quite hard to find the right promoter for us. Mm-hmm. But typically, it's starting the grassroots venues, build up a fan base, and then start playing the bigger venues, bigger nights. We haven't got a tour bus yet, so
it's coming. Okay,
maybe one day.
Excelente. Le pregunté cuál era el camino de las bandas más under para empezar en la región que tienen ellos, y me dijeron que ellos tuvieron la oportunidad de tocar en lugares grandes, en lugares pequeños, de todos los estilos, pero lo más importante es, cada lugar es como que tiene un promotor ahí, o sea, y que lo importante es meterse.
Bueno.
Sí, nos dieron un gran dato ahí. Really great info. Y ¿cómo se llama? Que hay que tratar de contactar con los promotores de cada lugar, y ver qué es lo que pasa. O sea, el estilo es igual en todos lados, o sea que primero se toca en bares, después arman una fanbase, una base de fans, y con eso se va moviendo por todos lados, pero el dato que nos tiró, que es buenísimo, es que tratan de contactarse con los promotores de cada lugar, y hay que tratar de contactarse con gente buena, nos dijeron, que no en todos lados hay garcas. And we are going to fight now. What do you think about the people saying that rock is dead?
I mean, it's not, is it? I mean, it's not.
No.
I mean, there is so much music available. You just need to go onto any streaming platform, and I hear rock bands. I don't know. I mean, when people say rock is dead, what do they mean exactly? Mm-hmm. Like that's what I want to know, because like I see plenty of it. So, Raul, what do you mean? If you were to say rock is dead, what do you mean?
No, I don't think so. But right. People from Latin America, there is a lot of reggaeton, Latin music now. Right. Like in the festivals, big festivals are full of reggaeton players. I don't really like that kind of music, but I think that it's hard to find, like new bands. Ritual is a really good band. It's hard to find and people who are committed with rock. I think that musicians are not committed with rock like before. No, I think
we're very fortunate here in particularly in our region in the UK. We've got like a very rich hard rock heavy metal scene here, and in Hertfordshire there are a lot of fantastic bands. So I mean, even from like, I suppose in order for rock to be alive, you need like people that kind of create bands and create a scene and go to gigs and buy merch off their kind of off other bands, and that's what it takes. So over here in the UK, like I see a very strong scene. I don't know how James responds to that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's dead at all. The thing that has changed, like in the last sort of 15 years here, as well as I think universally, it sounds, is that rock and metal, I think, is more on the periphery, on the edges of popular culture now. Whereas there was a point where it was more of a mainstay in the public eye, and I think where it's changed is that now, where Franco said rightly, I think there's so much content available. It doesn't really have a lot of airtime or a lot of like a really like high profile commercial promotion or push. Whereas I think years ago it did, even with new metal. I mean, that was a big thing. I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it so much, but I think
you love it.
I like
it.
Yeah, there's some bands from that scene that I think were fantastic, but then again, I think there's a lot of bands from various scenes since in different genres that I love as much. But I don't think where we were 20 years ago with new metal being so high profile and bringing a lot of like really alternative names onto center stage, we don't have that right now. I don't know if that will happen again anytime soon, but I'd like to see hard rock and metal get a little bit more credit, because I think ultimately it's such a great scene. Like, we all love it. It's just awesome.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice. No, me encantó, perdón, Manu, me encantó cómo arrancó Franco. Dice, sí, vos pensás que me encantaría saber qué es lo que la gente piensa cuando dice que el rock está muerto. Muy bueno, me encantó la...
Encaramos por ahí.
Sí, la repregunta.
Bueno, recién le preguntabas por si el rock está muerto, la respuesta fue que no. James, perdón que me meta en la traducción, decía que le falta un impulso más comercial, si querés. En esta línea, recién hablábamos que habría muerto el rock. Los primeros temas de todos los charts, me gustaría que arranques por acá, todos los temas que encabezan los charts no tienen guitarras. No hay guitarras. Preguntar por ahí, ¿allá en Inglaterra sucede lo mismo en donde están ellos o cómo es la cosa?
Muy buena pregunta. I think that Manu has a really good question. All the number one in the charts, number one songs in the charts have no guitar now. What do you think about that?
I ain't got a problem with it.
I mean, that's a hard one. Do you know what? Actually, I read it this morning in the UK charts. I don't know. Look, this is another thing. Like, there's so many charts now. I used to go like watch Top of the Pops on a Friday or Saturday, whenever it was. I was like, I love that show, but yeah, we don't have that anymore. And there's like online charts, streaming charts, UK charts, US charts, charts all over the world. Like, I don't know. It's like, which one do I follow? But yes, there is very limited guitar-based music in the charts. But what I was going to say, at the moment in the UK, like Kate Bush, she is now number one because there's a TV show, Stranger Things, that played her song. The kids hear it, they're like, what is this? This is actually interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I know it. I find that mad. I love Kate Bush. I've loved Kate Bush since I was like 9. So I guess that makes me the old man in the room when I kind of think, how do these people not know who Kate is? I think like, what? Where have you been living under a rock? Like, yeah, and then So yeah, I guess that betrays my age more than anything.
Okay. No, I'm 43, so I think the same as you. Y bueno, nos dieron una respuesta súper interesante, bueno, sobre los charts. Ya Franco se infló las pelotas, dijo, a mí esto no me gustó. Pero bueno, James nos dice, bueno, que hay como un montón de charts, hay charts en internet, de revistas, de un montón de cosas, así que depende también mucho qué charts sigas. Dijo que también él amaba Björk in Top of the Pop with Skunk Anansi, man. ¡Buah! That was incredible. Sí, James nos dice que, bueno, que él seguía mucho a Top of the Pop, el programa ese, pero bueno, que increíblemente, pese a todo eso, ahí está...
No, que antes, lo que él decía que antes, vos ibas a Top of the Pop y si veías ahí, hoy tenés un montón de charts.
Claro,
hay un montón. ¿Puedo meter otra pregunta,
Sí,
Raúl?
espera que le termino de redondear con lo que dijeron de Kate Bush, que es súper interesante. También está Kate Bush, sí, tocando una canción en Stranger Things, y ahora, bueno, como está todo esa onda de ver servicios de streaming, películas por streaming, hay muchos chicos que están preguntándose como, uy, ¿qué es Kate Bush? Y ahora sí está número uno Kate Bush, y dice que aman a Kate Bush. I like Kate Bush, she's a really rock woman. Manu, ¿tenés otra pregunta?
Sí, tengo un montón, brother, tengo un montón. No, le quiero preguntar, ¿dónde son ellos? La verdad que son como los padres de la cultura del rock y todo esto. Si sienten una presión a la hora de subirse a un escenario y tocar un instrumento, o la actitud punk y no importa nada y todo arranca ahora.
Manu is going to ask you that, you know that being in the UK, you're like the rock and roll or rock fathers, you know, it's like really important, you're the roots of the rock music, and you feel pressure about that. It's like you have to be good to play rock and roll in the UK, or you don't feel that pressure?
Nah, I mean, I don't think so. Like, who do you compare yourself to anyway? So you just go on and, you know, write honest music, and, you know, if people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, who cares? I don't feel any pressure, but I mean, music's all very kind of. I don't even know if I agree that if like the UK is the kind of some kind of epicenter of rock and roll, because like, is that the States? You know, soul, rhythm and blues doesn't like it, we took it from that, and where did it come from in the States? You know, it's universal. So like I definitely don't think. I don't know. That's my answer.
Okay. And you, James?
Punk.
Uh-huh.
I think everything has got influences, and yeah, for sure. But living in the UK, at a point, while I'm a bit older now, I'm still not old enough to remember like the classics. But yeah, like obviously, it was a privilege, I think, for a lot of people, like perhaps 60s and 70s, when you had big years for like all kinds of like the new sound, I suppose, coming out of the UK, with everything from like your Motorheads, new wave of British heavy metal, the punk scene, everything like that. Definitely. And I certainly don't feel any sense of pressure from that, but it's kind of exciting to sometimes find yourself in a venue or in a place in London or in Manchester, for example, Bristol, you know, wherever you go. Oh, you know, this band, which a couple of weeks ago, we were like playing in a venue in a town called Hatfield, and they were like, did you know? Like, come in. Like, did you know Lemmy used to play in here? I was like, what? No way. So like the stuff like that, that's pretty cool. I mean, that definitely, but you know, music is universal. It's for everyone. So no more pressure than any other band, I think, from any other city in the world.
Perfecto. Sí. Bueno, le preguntamos por la presión de ser ingleses y tocar rock, y Franco directamente dice, no, tranquilos, acá no pasa nada, y aparte dijo, bueno, que tiene razón en un punto, que los roots quizás es más del blues americano y que es una mezcla y que la música es universal. Y James nos dijo que, bueno, que él es un poco más joven y no tiene esa cosa de haber vivido el rock clásico tan fuerte en los 60 y en los 70, pero sin embargo que, por ejemplo, tocaron la semana pasada en un lugar a donde vino alguien y dijo, mira, acá estuvo tocando Lemmy mucho tiempo. Sí. Y dice que, bueno, ellos se sorprenden, se sienten como... It's kind of a blessing or not. It's kind of, se sienten como acompañado así o apadrinado de alguna manera, pero no, que no hay presión, nada, pero sí habiendo cada tanto lugares en donde, que son míticos, digamos, tienen lugares míticos a donde tocar, y tocar en esos lugares son increíbles. Manu, un par más y
yo
vamos
le quiero
cerrando.
Preguntar, yo siempre sostengo que los Estados Unidos tienen los mejores músicos, pero en the UK, the best band, los mejores grupos. Si coinciden, primero preguntar si coinciden, porque capaz no coinciden, y si te dicen que sí, ¿por qué?
Claro. Manu wants to know, because we think that American players like are virtuous, you know, with the guitar. And you have in the UK have the most rock and roll, the bands. The bands are from the UK and the players are from America. What do you think about that?
The best.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that. Okay, I always say that. So I want to know if you, ¿cómo si se coinciden conmigo?
Sí, if you
are agree,
about,
if you are agree with me.
Yeah,
So
like,
the United States have the best musicians, but the best groups, the best teams are from the UK. I want to know why. First, if you are agree with me. First, if you are agree with me. And later I want to know why. It's perfect. The band that you have are perfect, but the best musicians, Steve Vai, Satriani, you know.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I've got like plenty of musicians and bands across Europe as well that I would I love and I listen to. I think musicianship is incredible. The songwriting is great. I think there are plenty of bands in the States and that have got, have incredibly kind of innovative, original ideas. And even like Australia, like I've only recently got into like, do you guys know 12 Foot Ninja?
Yeah, yes, 12 Foot Ninja.
So I think the songwriting is banging, and they've got a very kind of, they know what they're doing and they're doing their own thing. And to me, that's what kind of like distinguishes bands from one another. I don't know about musicianship. I'm not a musician, so I'll pass up rest over to James.
Okay.
That's kind of subjective, but I do know what you mean about like certain scenes, like the geography of where certain styles of playing become popular. I guess like on a smaller scale, it's like you get a scene emerging from one place, and then there's the need, I suppose, to keep up with the other bands that you're playing with. Mm-hmm. So perhaps like just speculating, but like maybe in the US, yeah, there's some like big technical names like, Satriani, who you mentioned. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's quite, while I admire that style of playing, like, because I cannot play like that. Like, I think what I always like about music generally is like the song, like the whole thing, like as a whole picture. And I think perhaps maybe in least to a degree in the UK, like maybe that's like maybe more of like a sort of a generally like the hard rock, like I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but like yeah, maybe like we tend to keep it like more about songs, I guess, where there's definitely like some scenes like that originated in the US that are a little bit more about shred, like. And in Sweden as well, right? Come on.
Yes, they play really quick and technical. Nice, thank you for that. Muy bueno. Franco nos dice que bueno, que hay en todas partes cosas buenas y malas, y nos habló, por ejemplo, de 12 Foot Ninja, de una banda australiana que también escribe y hace cosas muy interesantes. Bueno, y cuando le pasó la pregunta a James nos dijo que primero que es una pregunta súper subjetiva, porque qué te gusta más o qué te gusta menos, o que es una banda buena o mala, es súper subjetivo, pero sí nos dio alguna razón que los músicos yankees, los músicos americanos son como más técnicos, buscan más sonar bien, la parte técnica que sea súper buena, y los ingleses quizás les importa siempre, que casi siempre les importó más la canción a ellos, y que por eso esa es la diferencia en que encuentran. Manu, última pregunta. Dale, vamos, we are going with the last question, okay?
The last question. I'm a big guitar fan, I have a lot of info of guitar players, and so I want to know the share of James guitar, y decirle que no tenga miedo en nombrar marcas de distorsiones, de efectos. Quiero saber esa data, quiero saber el sonido de la guitarra de Ritual.
We want to know the share of the guitar players and the bass player, if you can name it. You can name the whatever you want to name. It's okay.
Well, influences.
No. The cheer. What guitar do you play? What keyboard do you play? What drum? If you can tell us a little of that, just to know how you sound.
I want to know the distortion name, the delay name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah. No worries. My bass amp is Mark bass, and it's Marcus Miller, and I like that. The Mark bass gear for the Mark bass stuff is not particularly distorted. It's very clean, and it can be used like quite dynamically through sort of like funk all the way through to rock. It's not, I wouldn't say it's not your typical metal sound at all, but the clarity on it is beautiful, I thought. So that's why I went with that. It's an Ibanez bass 5-string.
Okay.
And the effects that I use a little bit of chorus. They're all Boss pedals, so it's a Boss chorus, and I've got an octaver for my bass as well, but I don't really use it with a view to adding a lot. It's mostly there's a setting on it that it just adds a tiny bit of distortion because the Marcus Miller bass amp is so crisp and clean. It just adds in, it's like harmonics, like just a gentle touch of harmonics. Boom, Gibson.
I'm a bass player too. I like the Marcus Miller sound. It's like a new, and the Ibanez is really you like Korn. You like Korn?
Sure. Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. I love Fieldy's bass sound. It's just got so much attack. It's like almost like he's lost so much of the real low end. And it's just like, it's almost like percussion. It's got that kind of real slap. I love it. Yeah. In terms of like any other gear, like I think that's it. Like, but Mike, our guitarist, he's got like Franco. How many guitars has he got now?
Man, I think he's on his. I don't want to guess. It's 3 or 4. It's 3 or 4 at least. But I mean, they all sound beautiful.
Yes.
And So, but to be honest with you, when he starts talking like tech stuff with me or gear stuff, I go into a cold sweat. And I just kind of like phase out. I'm not really listening, and I just nod along. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. So like, it comes to tech, don't ask me. I'm the wrong dude.
I can tell you, he used on this record Enigma. He used a Marshall amp, but live he's actually switched. Now he started using Engel. Is it a 5150?
Okay. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
For me, I love the tone you can get out of that amp for like the more like the heavier side of what we do. It works really well. Whereas for me, while I think the Marshall sound is great, it's more classic hard rock like that. I don't know, it's hard rock, no doubt, but it sounds like more traditional. It's like got that real like classic vibe to it. He's got. I mean, I know he's got a tuner in there somewhere. He's got like a digital delay and like reverb effects. He's got like a shimmer delay. I'm really sorry, I can't actually remember which company it is.
It's okay.
But yeah. But that's it. That's more or less it. But if I was going to switch my bass amp, I'd love to try one of those Aguilar amps. You know those guys?
Aguilar. It's really nice. It's a heavy stuff. Aguilar with a Sans amp. It's perfect.
Nice.
It's nice.
Okay.
Nice. Manu, si te parece, cerramos.
No. Vamos a escuchar Seven Gate. ¿Tienen algo que decir Seven Gate? Cerramos.
Dale. Really, thanks for the interview. Thanks for your time. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you, Franco. Nice. You are a really vocalist, man. You don't have to think about guitars, nothing. Only the vocals. It's okay, man. It's okay.
I try to avoid it as best I can.
It's
but
okay.
Thank you.
No, it's
thank you, guys. Okay. It's been thank you for inviting us on and having this chat and introducing us to your listeners. We appreciate that.
Okay, we do appreciate for your time and your support. And we are going to listen Seven Gates. Can you tell us something little about that song, just for finish?
Yeah. That song is a kind of, again, it's a reimagining, it's a retelling of an ancient Greek piece of tragedy called Antigone. So it's like a courtroom drama, effectively. We've got Diane van Giersbergen, who is a dramatic soprano from the Netherlands, singing on it. And it does what Manu says earlier on, like it kind of weaves in a lot of different things in a short space of time. And it's the first single off our EP, so we're very happy with it.
Okay, thank you very much. We keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take it easy.